Today, we're really getting into a huge moment for Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
That's right. The showdown with Afzal Khan, it's iconic.
Exactly. And we've got some great sources that really paint a picture of this clash. So let's dive in.
Okay, so setting the scene, Bijapur, the Sultanate, they're getting pretty frustrated.
Losing ground.
Yeah, losing forts, territories. Shivaji's really becoming a thorn in their side. They'd tried stuff before, right?
Like imprisoning his father, Shah.
Exactly. Trying to pressure him that way. Didn't work. They tried to trap his lieutenant, Shivaji Maharaj. Failed.
Even a Mughal invasion didn't sort it out for them.
Nope. So they're kind of running out of options. And the ruler then, Ali Adil Shah II, he's young, like barely 21.
So inexperienced. Who's really calling the shots?
His mother, the Badi Sahiba, the Queen Dowager, she effectively runs the show.
Okay.
And she basically calls a meeting, puts it to her ministers, her generals. Someone needs to handle Shivaji, bring him back alive.
And how did that go down?
Well, apparently there was silence at first. These guys were experienced, sure, but Shivaji already had this reputation for bravery.
They were hesitant.
Yeah. But then Afzal Khan steps forward. Big personality, seems like.
Driven by vanity, the sources mentioned?
Definitely seems that way. He boasts right there in court, I'll bring him back in chains. Just like that.
Oh, wow. Bold.
And the Queen Dowager, she's desperate, so she jumps on it. Maybe Khan underestimated Shivaji or just didn't grasp how much influence he really had by then?
Yeah, possibly saw him as just another rebellious chief.
Which Shivaji, being sharp, probably sensed and used later.
Okay, so Afzal Khan, he wasn't just some minor player, right?
Yeah.
High-ranking general.
Oh yeah, top brass in Bijapur. So the queen gives him a serious force.
How serious?
We're talking 12,000 cavalry.
12,000.
Yep. Plus infantry, artillery, even rockets, camels, all the war supplies. And interestingly, a couple thousand Mavalis.
His own Mavalis.
Yeah.
Like Shivaji's fighters from the Maval region.
Exactly. Khan knew the terrain, knew the Mavalis were key to Shivaji's strength, so he hired his own.
But were they the same?
Well, that's the crucial difference the sources point out. Shivaji's Mavalis, fiercely loyal, fighting for a cause. Khan's, mostly mercenaries. In it for the pay.
A fundamental misunderstanding of their commitment then.
Completely. He didn't get that core difference.
And Khan's plan wasn't just military force, was it? There was deception involved.
Oh, absolutely. The Queen Dowager actually told him, try to capture or kill Shivaji by pretending friendship. Offer him a pardon from the Sultan.
Like a trap.
Exactly. And also try to stir things up. You know, bribe Shivaji's own Mavali leaders, intimidate the locals. A multi-pronged approach, really.
Okay, so he sets off.
Right.
And his route, it was deliberately provocative.
Very much so. He marches towards Tuljapur.
Which is a big deal religiously, right?
Yeah.
Temple of Bhavani.
Huge deal. Bhavani was the patron deity of Shivaji's own family, the Bansals, and Khan attacks the temple, desecrates it.
Deliberately.
Oh yeah. Calculated insult. Thankfully, the priests managed to hide the main, most sacred idol.
But it wasn't just an insult, was it? Strategically, what was the goal?
It was about undermining Shivaji. His authority, his connection to Maratha identity, which was so tied up with their faith, trying to demoralize everyone.
And the larger idol at Tuljapur. The sources say something pretty shocking happens.
They do. He apparently had it seized and, get this, ground into powder with millstones.
Unbelievable. Just pure aggression.
A clear message, and he didn't stop there. On the way to Pandharpur, another holy site, he hits the temple of Mankeshwar.
More desecration.
Yes. By the time he gets near Pandharpur, the priests at the Vathova temple there had already hidden the idol and people had fled the town. They knew what was coming.
So imagine being Shivaji. You hear this massive army is coming, led by a general boasting he'll capture you, and he's deliberately destroying your most sacred sites.
The pressure must have been immense. He needed to act, and fast.
So he consults his commanders. What were their thoughts? Any disagreement?
Oh, definitely different opinions. Some were like, let's hole up in Pratapgad fort, it's strong, let him come to us. Defensive strategy.
Makes sense, leveraging the terrain.
Right. But others, maybe fewer, suggested trying for peace talks, sending feelers to Khan.
Did they think that had any real chance, given Bijapur's past actions and Khan's current ones?
Probably not much, but perhaps they felt it was worth exploring all options, maybe delaying. But Shivaji wasn't having any of it.
He dismissed the idea of peace talks.
Pretty much. Sources say he had contempt for it. He just didn't trust Bijapur, didn't trust Khan, saw any offer of friendship as fake.
Understandable, given the circumstances.
He believed it would come down to a fight, on his terms.
And this is where that tradition about the vision comes in, right?
Yes, a really compelling part of the story. As he's weighing these options, he supposedly has a vision.
Of the goddess Pavani, from the very temple Khan had just desecrated.
Exactly. The tradition says she assured him he'd win, that he was the one chosen to avenge what Khan did.
Wow. Whether you see that as literal or, a powerful sense of inner conviction.
It became crucial. It boosted his resolve, gave his followers a powerful story. Did the sources say how people around him took it? Divine sign, morale boost.
It seems he shared it immediately, with his mother, Jijabai, and his key officers.
Imagine the impact. Divine backing, right when they needed it most, really solidifies their cause against this huge threat.
A unifying moment.
Definitely. And right after this, Shivaji makes the call, move the main camp to Pratapgad.
The strategic fort.
Yes. And his mother, Jijabai, gives him her blessing. The sources even mention her comparing herself to Kunti from the Mahabharata.
Mother of the heroic Pandavas. Wow, that really elevates things, doesn't it? Frames it as this epic, righteous struggle.
It does, adds that layer of destiny, of purpose.
Okay, so the stage is set. Bijapur is desperate. Afzal Khan is on this destructive, boastful warpath. And Shivaji, feeling divinely backed, digs in at Pratapgad. What happens next is incredible.
It really is. Shivaji's preparations, the level of planning, it's quite something. We'll get into that right after this.
Welcome back. We're talking about Shivaji Maharaj preparing for Afzal Khan at Pratapgad. He's decided to make his stand there.
Right. And now we see Shivaji, the strategist, really come into play. He starts these elaborate preparations, but they're all designed to, well, basically fool Afzal Khan.
Lull him into a false sense of security.
Precisely. He goes to great lengths to make Khan's march up into the mountains seem easy.
How so?
His men are out there clearing paths, cutting down dense jungle, even building new sections of pathway up the Ghats, those steep mountain passes.
Making it easy for the Bijapur army to move.
Exactly. They even clear an open space near Pratapgad, perfect for Khan's army to set up camp. It looks like Shivaji is scared, trying to make things easy for the invaders.
Appeasement.
Like rolling out the red carpet almost, but with a hidden agenda.
Totally hidden. He sets up outposts along Khan's route, ordering them to give Khan's troops food, supplies, whatever they need.
Reinforcing that idea that Shivaji is submitting. But here's the clever bit. While they're clearing the main path,
Yes.
they leave the dense jungle untouched on either side. Really thick growth.
So Khan's army can't easily spread out or send flanking parties.
Exactly, they'd get bogged down. And all the little side paths, the cross routes, Shivaji's men block them off, deliberately.
Funneling Khan exactly where Shivaji wants him. Genius. Facilitation and obstruction at the same time.
It's brilliant maneuvering. And while all this is happening visibly, Shivaji's holding secret talks with his commanders.
Planning the real action.
Right. Netaji Palkar gets orders. Take your battalions, set up an ambush in the Ghats, east of the fort.
To cover their flank. Or catch anyone trying to circle around.
Both, using that rough terrain for a surprise attack if needed.
Okay, and others.
Morapant Pingal, another top general, is tasked with surrounding that clearing where Khan's main army is expected to camp.
Ready to attack on signal.
Correct. Raghunath Balal and Trimbak Bhaskar are their seconds in command. Everything relies on signals.
What were the signals?
A bugle blast for Netaji to start his ambush in the Ghats, and 5 cannon shots from Pratapgad itself. That's the signal for Morapant to hit the main camp.
Clear plan. Was capturing loot a priority?
Explicitly secondary, the main goal. Destroy the enemy force.
Got it. And inside Pratapgad itself, what was happening there?
Maximum alert. Shivaji personally oversaw everything. Enough soldiers garrisoned, plenty of weapons, ammo, food stockpiled.
Securing the fort.
Absolutely. All the ways in were secured. Every watchtower overlooking the approaches was fully manned. Reserve troops ready near the main gate just in case.
He's preparing for the worst, even while setting this trap.
Always thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Now, the place for the actual meeting between Shivaji and Khan, also carefully chosen.
Where was it?
At the foot of Pratapgad, near one of the fortified towers, they built this magnificent pavilion.
Grand, you mean?
Very. Sources describe it as spacious, lavishly decorated, silks, pearl embroidery, rich carpets, comfy cushions, a big couch in the middle.
Why so fancy? Just for show.
Likely twofold. Impress Khan, maybe make him feel comfortable, in control, Perhaps feed his ego and make him drop his guard even further? What do the sources suggest about that psychological angle?
Seems designed to make Khan think Shivaji was still trying to appease him, even down to the meeting place.
Exactly. So once everything's ready, word goes to Afzal Khan. Proceed to Javli.
And Khan takes the bait.
Hook, line, and sinker. He comes up via the Pratapgad, which translates, kind of ominously, as the Tearful Pass.
Ominous indeed.
A path had been conveniently cleared for him, of course. Some accounts say he was so confident he left some of his heavy artillery behind.
Overconfident. Big mistake.
Huge. The march up was apparently tougher than he expected, though. Even his own Pathan mercenaries were reportedly grumbling.
Saying what?
Muttering about Shivaji being cunning, the terrain being difficult, but Khan just dismissed it. Arrogance.
Oddly blinded by it. And Shivaji kept up the act.
Kept providing tents, supplies at every stop, reinforcing Khan's belief that Shivaji was about to surrender any minute.
So Khan finally reaches Javli. What's his next move?
He sends his envoy, Krishnaji Bhaskar, up the path to Pratapgad. The official message: I'm here, summon Shivaji for the meeting.
But wasn't there a twist with Krishnaji Bhaskar?
Ah, yes, the crucial twist. Unbeknownst to Khan, Shivaji had actually won Krishnaji over. Persuasion. Appealing to their shared background, religion, sense of beauty. Shivaji convinced him.
So Krishnaji spilled the beans.
He did, revealed Khan's real plan. It wasn't peace, it was a setup. Lure Shivaji in, grab him, drag him back to Bijapur in chains.
That's explosive intelligence. What did Shivaji do?
Kept playing the part. Publicly, he's still saying, yes, I'll submit. They agree the meeting will happen in a few days.
And he sends his own envoy back with Krishnaji.
Yes, Pantaji Gopinath. His job. Keep up the story of Shivaji being scared, but also subtly suggest Khan should come even closer to Pratapgad for the meeting.
Playing on Khan's ego again.
Exactly. Pantaji tells Khan, basically, Shivaji is terrified. If you come closer to Javli, he'll see it as a sign of your goodwill. Lots of flattery, valuable gifts too, making Shivaji seem weak and eager to please.
And back in Khan's camp, Krishnaji backs this up.
Perfectly. Confirms Shivaji will come, but stresses how scared Shivaji is of going all the way to Y, where Khan initially was. Advises Khan to agree to meet near Pratapgad.
Saying it'll make Shivaji feel safer and easier to grab.
Precisely. Assures Khan this concession will make the capture smooth sailing. Khan had some doubts about the terrain near Javli, apparently, but his eagerness to snatch Shivaji won out.
So he agrees to all of Shivaji's conditions.
Every single one. The trap is now fully set. Khan thinks victory is just moments away, no real fight needed.
He even had the pavilion checked for hidden soldiers.
Yeah, sent officers to inspect it. Shows he was thinking about ambushes, but still convinced he was the one in control.
Okay, the meeting day arrives. How does Khan approach?
He sets out from his camp with about 1,500 elite soldiers, a strong escort.
But doesn't he arrive at the pavilion almost alone?
Yes, because Krishnaji Bhaskar works on him again. Says, look, that big escort, it'll spook Shivaji. You're Afzal Khan. You don't need all these men for one guy.
More flattery.
Loads of it. Convinces Khan to leave most of his troops stationed back along the path and just proceed to the pavilion with 1 or 2 attendants. Same as Shivaji was expected to bring.
And Khan buys it.
Completely. He gets into his palanquin, a covered litter, and heads to the pavilion with just 2 guys.
Who are they?
A trusted veteran soldier named Sedbanda and Krishnaji Bhaskar himself, the double agent.
Wow. Khan's attire. Was he ready for a fight?
Apparently not really. Wore fairly light clothes, just carried his personal sword. He got there early, sat down, waited confidently. He thought this was practically over.
Meanwhile, Shivaji's preparing too, knowing the real danger.
Absolutely. He performs his prayers, asks Bhavani for blessing and guidance. Sources mention him going into almost a trance, feeling divinely assured of victory.
That blend of faith and action again.
Deeply intertwined for him. Then he speaks to his nobles, his commanders, acknowledges the risk, but states his determination.
Entrusting the kingdom to them if things go wrong.
Yes. Contingency planning. Shows his leadership. Then the physical preparation.
The famous hidden armor and weapons.
That's it. Mail coat under his robes, mail cap under his turban, vital protection.
And the weapons?
A buchwa, a type of dagger hidden up his sleeve, and the legendary wanak, the tiger claws attached to the fingers of his left hand.
Deadly combination.
Lethal. Then he gets a final blessing from his mother, Jijabai.
And she reminds him of his brother.
Yes, urges him to avenge his elder brother Sambhaji's death, which Afzal Khan had been involved in. Adds another layer of personal motivation.
Intense. So Shivaji starts down from Pratapgad.
With a small escort, Jiva Mahalya, Samaji Kavji, Yasaji Kunk, Tanaji Malusar, his most trusted men.
And he deliberately acts nervous as he approaches.
Yes, pretends to be hesitant, fearful. Krishnaji Paskar points this out to Khan. See how scared he is.
Setting Khan up even more.
Right. Krishnaji suggests Khan dismiss his last attendant, said Banda, to make Shivaji feel even safer.
And Khan agrees.
Nods his head. Said Banda steps back, probably reluctantly.
The tension must have been incredible.
Palpable. Shivaji walks towards the pavilion. One of his attendants is carrying 2 swords, openly. Khan seems to miss the significance of that.
Overconfidence blinding him again?
Seems like it. Khan stands up from his couch as Shivaji enters, extends his arms apparently for a welcoming embrace.
A moment of truth.
And Khan makes his move. Grabs Shivaji's neck hard, trying to pin his head under his arm. At the same time, he tries to stab Shivaji in the back with a hidden dagger.
But the mail coat
Saved him, absorbed the blow, and no serious injury.
Shivaji's reaction.
Instantaneous. Despite the shock, the attempted chokehold, he reacts with lightning speed.
Tiger claw.
Unleashes them, rips them across Khan's stomach, guts him, basically.
Vicious.
Simultaneously pulls out the hidden dagger from his sleeve and stabs Khan multiple times, twisting free from Khan's grip as he does it.
It's brutal. What happens to Khan?
He's mortally wounded, cries out in pain, shock, tries to swing his own sword at Shivaji.
Does he hit him?
Shivaji dodges, but the sword apparently grazes his helmet or turban. Shivaji then stabs him again with the dagger and tries to grab Khan's sword.
Chaos erupts. Khan's cry.
Murder! Treason! Help! His nearby soldiers hear it, start running towards the pavilion. Said Banda, the attendant who stepped back, is first on the scene.
And he attacks Shivaji.
Ferociously. With a big double-edged sword, Shivaji grabs another sword from Jiva Mahalya, defends himself.
Well, Jiva Mahalya engages, said Banda.
Exactly. And Jiva Mahalya, in an incredible moment, cuts off said Banda's sword arm, takes him out of the fight.
Amazing bravery. What about Khan?
His followers trying to hustle him away in his palanquin, wounded as he is, but Shivaji's men, Yasaji Kunk, Tanaji Malasar, they chase them down.
Stop them.
Wound the bearers carrying the palanquin, surround it, and, well, they sever Afzal Khan's head.
Decisive end. Amidst all this fighting, what about the Brahmin civilian Khan brought, Krishnaji?
Right, an interesting detail. This Krishnarji, seeing his master killed, apparently attacks Shivaji in anger.
And Shivaji.
Remembers his father's rule. Never harm a Brahmin. He spares Krishnaji's life, tells him to just go home. An act of principle even in that chaos.
Remarkable. So Shivaji is safe. What next?
He gets back up to Pratapgad fort and immediately gives the signals.
The cannon fire and bugle.
5 cannon shots boom out. The bugle sounds. Down in the valley, Khan's main army hears the cannons.
What do they think it is?
Initially, they misinterpret it, think it's a salute for a successful meeting. They're completely unprepared.
Until the attack starts.
Exactly. Netaji Palkar's cavalry slams into the 1,500 Bijapuri horsemen who had come near the fort with Khan.
The ambush in the Ghats.
Yes. News of Khan's death spreads like wildfire through the Bijapuri ranks. Panic sets in. Netaji exploits it ruthlessly.
Do the Bijapuris fight back?
They put up some resistance initially, but they're disorganized, shocked. Netaji's attack breaks them, a decisive defeat there.
And more upon Pingal, the main assault.
Simultaneously hits the main Bijapuri camp down on the Javali plain. Total surprise. Panic, chaos. It's a rout.
Complete collapse of the Bijapuri army.
Swift and total. Shivaji had given clear orders, though. Spare anyone who surrenders.
And did they?
Many did, especially the wounded. Others just fled into the jungles trying to escape.
How did Shivaji treat the prisoners?
Remarkably well for the time. Sources emphasize his courtesy, his generosity. They were given food, money for their journey back to Bijapur.
Even the nobles.
Yes, treated with respect, given horses, gifts. It made an impression. Many Maratha soldiers who'd been serving Bijapur actually switched sides and joined Shivaji then and there.
Impressed by his conduct, was there anyone not spared?
One notable exception, Kandoji Kopte. He'd taken a bribe from Afzal Khan, Afzul's son, instead of capturing him when he was wounded. Shivaji saw this as treachery.
So Kopte was executed.
Yes. But otherwise, the treatment of prisoners was quite humane.
What about the spoils of war? Was it a rich haul?
Oh, huge. Elephants, horses, camels, all the artillery, a lot of cash, Gold, jewels, cloth supplies, massive boost to Shivaji's treasury.
And his army.
Equally important boost. More warriors flocked to him, inspired by this massive victory. His reputation soared.
And the head of Afzal Khan. What happened to it?
In a powerful symbolic act, it was sent to Tuljapur, presented to the goddess Bhavani.
Avenging the desecration, fulfilling that earlier sense of purpose.
Exactly. When Shivaji returned to Pratapgad, his mother Jijabai was overjoyed, recognized the bravery of his men, felt justice had been done for her other son, Sambhaji.
Shivaji also took care of his own men.
Absolutely. Made sure the wounded got good medical care, the families of those killed in the battle were given pensions, land grants, looked after his people.
That builds loyalty.
Deep loyalty. There were huge celebrations, not just at Pratapgad, but everywhere in his territories. A landmark victory.
And this event, it really captured the imagination, didn't it? The Pawada.
Yes, it became legendary almost immediately, immortalized in the Pawadas, those traditional ballads, celebrating his cunning, his courage, cemented his status.
What about Khan's head, physically?
It was buried near Pratapgad, where the confrontation happened. They built a tower over it, the Afzal Buruz, as a commemoration.
And sword.
Kept as a trophy of the victory, a potent symbol.
And Shivaji fulfilled his vow about Bhavani at Pratapgad too.
Yes, he commissioned a sacred image of the goddess to be installed there, and later built a temple for her at the fort. Faith and victory intertwined again.
What was the reaction back in Bijapur when the news arrived?
Utter shock, disbelief, despair. The young Sultan, the powerful Badi Saheba, completely devastated.
Losing such a major general, such a large army.
It was catastrophic for them. Plunged the court into mourning, seriously shook their power and stability. A massive blow.
So, reflecting on this whole deep dive, the confrontation between Shivaji and Afzal Khan, what's the big takeaway for you?
It's just so much more than a battle, isn't it? It's this incredible display of strategy, sheer nerve, and, well, conviction.
That mix of strategic brilliance and deeply held belief really stands out.
Yeah, he outthought and outfought a much larger, seemingly more powerful opponent. It wasn't just about military tactics, it was psychological warfare, leveraging Khan's arrogance, using the terrain, inspiring absolute loyalty.
And the impact was huge. Solidified his position, obviously, but also ignited something bigger, right? That Maratha spirit of resistance.
Absolutely. It resonated deeply, changed the game in the Deccan. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What does this victory, won through such cunning and conviction, tell us about leadership against overwhelming odds?
A lot to chew on there. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
I hope you like this chapter. We need volunteers and sponsors to create content with even better quality and with more variety. If you wish to join this initiative as a volunteer or sponsor, please click the links given in description below. To help us reach more viewers, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Biography Central. Thank you for your time. It means a lot. Namaste.